And now onto the third category of meaning and the final topic that we will cover within the holistic success model, which is the category of contribution. So contribution is the role that one plays in bringing about positive change or making improvements for the world and for the community around them. According to the Dalai Lama, our prime purpose in this life is to help others. And if you can't help them, at least don't hurt them. So give and volunteer and contribute back to your community because it will make you feel good. And so you can see this is where the pillars of happiness and meaning overlap. And so psychologists actually did a study to prove exactly that. So in this study, psychologists split people into two groups. And so in group A, they gave the participants $5 every single day and told them to spend that $5 on themselves and measured their happiness afterwards. And then in group B, they also gave $5 to each of the participants in the group. However, group B had to spend that $5 on someone else. And so the results that they got were very interesting. So in group A, when the individuals spent that money on themselves, they saw a spike in their happiness. And that's expected, right? After you buy yourself something, you feel good for a short period of time. But what they saw is that when they repeated this over the span, every single day over the span of a week, that happiness boost actually got smaller and smaller. So they got a big happiness boost the first time they bought themselves something for $5. The second day it was a little bit less until on the last day they saw almost no difference in happiness when they, before or after they bought themselves something nice or whatever you can buy for $5. And so this is an example of that impact bias, if you remember, that we covered in an earlier workshop, where we get used to the things that we do repeatedly. Now, what they saw in group B was a little bit different, and this is where it gets interesting. So the participants in group B got that same happiness spike after they spent the $5 on someone else, and that happiness level or that happiness spike maintained to be almost the same throughout the week, meaning that the second day and the third and each day afterwards, they still received that same boost in happiness as opposed to the participants in group A who spent the $5 on themselves. So what this means is that it still feels fresh and exciting to give to others, and it isn't influenced by that impact bias. So the takeaway is give, and give some more, because when we make our greatest selfless acts, that is when we feel our greatest sense of fulfillment.